Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're a crew here, catch me in my next live. Yo, listen, I gotta really thank you guys for 6,000 subs. Do remember, sharing is daring. You're people to wake up out of the matrix. So share this video with people you want to see on the other side.
Well, do you have any gay friends? Have you ever had any gay friends?
I don't have any gay friends, Kelly.
All right.
No.
All right.
But hold on.
That you know about.
There's always that one nigga in the hood that's smart but high at the same time. And he will say some stuff and you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. What, nigga?
You are looking at one of the strangest patents in the entire U.S. patent system. Patent number 2006-001425A1, Walking Through Walls Training System. This patent refers to a unique process, a training system that enables a human being to acquire sufficient hyperspace energy in order to pull the body out of a dimension so that it may pass through solid objects. This is very real and was used by the U.S. Army at one point.
It's a movie about that called The Men Who Stared at Goats. You leave it in the comments, you tell me if you've seen that flick. I saw it in the theaters and I was like, wow, the government is on some.
People have been so scared in this house that they have left in the middle of the night. I'm currently at the Stone Mansion in Winchester, Indiana, and I will be here for the next 3 days alone.
Why?
Everyone underestimates me, but then they turn their back, and I'm like, boom.
Con problemas la estadounidense. Vamos a ver si aguanta últimos 19 segundos. Apriétale. Se va a tapear.
Damn, she choked the femininity back into that bitch.
Let me show you the scientific miracle in the hadith that is now proven by science. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "If a housefly falls in the drink of any one of you, he should dip it in the drink and take it out, for one of its wings has a disease and the other has the cure for the disease." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told this hadith at least 1400 years ago, when there was neither technology nor science. But today's science has confirmed this hadith. An experiment was done by collecting flies. The left and right wings for each were separated. Each fly wing was dipped in sterile nutrient media for investigation of microbial presence. After 48 hours, the results proved that the left wing contains bacteria and the right wing is free of any microbes. Scientists found that the best way to release the antidote is by dipping the fly into liquid, because it's concentrated on the outer surface of the fly's wings.
My question with all these prophecies are, how did they know, like the time that we're living in today? How did the Bible know that? It's one of those unexplained paranormal things, right?
I remember we had an FBI consultant on the picture telling me that they can use your ADT security box microphone to get your stuff that's going on in your house, or OnStar, they could shut your car down. And he told me that 1 in 5 phone calls that you make are recorded and logged. And I laughed at him, and then he played back a phone conversation I'd had 2 years prior to joining the picture. The FBI consultant. And it was like one of those phone calls, it was like, you know, what are you wearing type of things. Really? Yeah, so it was mad weird.
Wait, so you mean they had a record of you from
2 years prior to me joining the picture?
Even being associated with the movie?
With the movie.
Well, that seems creepy.
It's extremely creepy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm trying to think of what the last 4 phone calls I made.
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny until you realize that this was for the movie Eagle Eye. And after this conversation, Shia LaBeouf's career went downhill. And there was one time they was looking at Shia LaBeouf like the next Tom Hanks. Fun fact, a Hanks is a ghost in the South.
Hey Siri, find me a boyfriend.
Okay.
What's up?
Their phone is their new man, because a lot of these girls can just get online, shake everything in front of the camera, and then people will just tell them how wonderful they are. If they can't do that, then they'll just turn into squawkers, screech and yell at everybody and demand attention from people, because they just want to hold your attention hostage to make themselves feel better. They just want to hold your attention hostage to make themselves feel better. Oh, I'm high on attention today. That's the only way they can move on with their day, but I mean, they don't have nothing to do, so they just stay online all day long, bothering people so they can continue to get more attention.
Is that true? Is that what TikTok Live is all about?
What you mean have a good one, baby girl?
I'm just saying, like, I have a good one.
I'm saying, you said baby girl. What you mean by baby girl?
I'm just like, I just meant like have a good one. That's it.
No, you said baby girl. What you mean by baby girl? Do I look like a baby girl to you?
Nah, bro, you look like a man.
I'm saying though. So what the fuck you mean, baby girl? Then
I'm just saying, like you
I'm
cool.
saying, help me understand. You said, baby girl, have a good day, baby girl. Do I look attractive to you or something, or do I?
I mean, like let's say I do say you did look kind of attractive.
Ain't no.
But I'm not with that though. I'm not about that.
Let's all that baby girl shit, all that this, that, the third shit. Z, we not doing none of that.
You know, bro. But it's like, you know, like I'm just joking around.
You know
what I'm trying to say?
Do no baby
it's like,
girl shit.
How about if I call you pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie. Hey, listen, pumpkin pie. Hey, listen, man.
You gotta laugh at this shit, man. Oh my God. I will go insane if I be an incel like some of you dudes in my comments.
2 senior CIA agents believe they were targeted with a sophisticated microwave weapon while they were visiting Australia late last year. It's been reported the pair may have been attacked as part of a global campaign by Russia that's left American spies and diplomats suffering from mysterious brain-related illnesses.
All the victims that I watch their interviews all say pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They hear something, the vertigo, traumatic brain injury. One male said that he was in a hotel and a van pulled up.
Yeah.
And right after the van pulled up, he felt it.
Right.
And then the van pulled up again. I believe it was the next night. Felt it again.
It's getting spooky out here. And it looked like the dog was seeing demons in another dimension. Oh snap. Is that why they call it dementia?
Would you like to know what happens when you get bit by an animal that has rabies?
Yes. Yes, I would.
You begin to experience what we call hydrophobia, which is just a fear of swallowing. This man is obviously having difficulty swallowing his own saliva. Once you start experiencing symptoms like this, there's absolutely nothing the doctors can do. It's 100% fatal at this point. After hours of experiencing symptoms like this, the patient starts to slip into this really quiet, calm-like vegetative state. The doctors also bind him to the bed so he doesn't hurt himself or other people. And this is a symptom right here that everybody knows about rabies, the foaming of the mouth. The foaming is due to lack of swallowing. Once this happens, the patient only has a few hours left to live. He starts losing all neurological function and is unable to swallow.
And that's the thing, fellas, that you have to realize about beautiful women. They're weird, man. I think that's why people say get an ugly wife to have a beautiful life. Like this girl. She's just gonna jump out the car, driving on the highway, and she's just gonna go frolic with the animals. You talking to the animals, catching rabies? You this ain't Dr. Doolittle. Put this goddamn thing back in the wilderness. Juicy, probably could cook real good. Psycho.
I mean, I try so hard and you try so little, and I don't know.
Whoa.
So this is 1968 on BBC. This is a year before the fake moon landing. They've told everybody.
Okay.
They relieve themselves of their karmic responsibility. Because if you tell people and you make it available, you're not trapping people. It's consent. This wasn't made by a bunch of truthers. This is the fucking BBC. Told you this.
Man, I see why the late great Kevin Samuels said you can't make this shit up. That's a lot of stuff to be lying about. Whoa. A train goes right through your backyard. People in control sell that experience to people who don't live there. That's creepy.
Yeah, man, everything's racist. Think about it. Your streets are named after prominent racists in your city, state, or throughout history. Washington, Jackson, Jefferson, Lee. All slaveholders, all racists. Your schools, elementary, middle, and high school, are named after prominent members of your community who are probably racists. Take mine, for example. My middle school was named after Forrest Comer White, a white supremacist who tried to commit murder-suicide by airplane, and our school mascot was a Confederate rebel. Even your institutions of higher learning have their roots in racism. Harvard, Yale, and Brigham Young University is named after racist Brigham Young, who tried to eradicate Native Americans by poisoning them. Traffic, racism. Instead of building highways in the most efficient ways, they ran them specifically through black and brown neighborhoods, and now we have traffic because of that. Seasonal allergies, racism. It's the beautification of the white parts of town with only male trees that continuously pop off pollen with no female trees to absorb them. That's why you have seasonal allergies. Racism. Tipping, racism. White store owners didn't want to pay black employees anything, so they said, if your service is good, leave it up to the customer to pay you, and that's how we got tipping. Student loans, racism. College used to be free. That is until black people started going to college, and then now you have to pay, and if you can't pay, you take out a student loan. The prohibition on cannabis, racism. You see, it used to be legal. That is until white people wanted to demonize Mexicans, so they renamed cannabis marijuana, spelled with an H, to sound like Tijuana, so they could justify the mistreatment of Mexican people. That Ford truck you drive? Racism. Henry Ford was so racist that Hitler had a picture of him at his desk. He was inspired by the efficiency of his assembly line and used that efficiency to efficiently kill more people. He also got the inspiration for his gas chambers from America's gassing and delousing of Mexican migrants at the border. Argentina is 96% white because of racism. Mexico is known as a mestizo country because of racism. And brown people all around the world are bleaching their skin because of racism's twin sister, colorism. Cancer rates in the South? Racism. You see, they like to build petrochemical plants near black and brown neighborhoods, thus giving us higher rates of cancer than those around us. Matter of fact, right here in Louisiana, Mossville, Louisiana, used to be a thriving black town founded by black people, but it was later bought out by a petrochemical plant and bulldozed. Racism. It affects every part of our daily lives, and until we acknowledge that, we can't change it, because we can't change what we refuse to acknowledge. And that's why racism continues to thrive in this country, because we've raised generations of people to be willfully ignorant of it.
It just made no sense to me. I've got a background of cooking on campfires from sea level to 13,000 feet in the Sierra, and everything burns in a tiny campfire. And this is a horrific firestorm, they said. Why are all the trees still there? Yeah, all I can say is they don't recognize the organics, even though they're super hot. They seem to be much hotter than our regular wood fires, but for whatever reason, they're not recognizing organics. They turn everything brown. They suck the water out of it like it's in a microwave oven in your kitchen, leave them brown or a light shade of green, but it will not ignite them unless they're in close proximity to metals. It has to be in close proximity to your metals, whether they're ferrous or non-ferrous, like aluminum. Your creek beds around here in California, I've noticed, or water-loving trees have burned from the inside out. Cooked like in a microwave. And these are willows, cottonwoods, alder, birch, maple, madrone. Not one leaf will be burned on them, even when the leaves are on the ground, but they'll cook from the inside out where the highest water holding capacity would be. Pines and more flammable trees are doing the same, but at a slower rate, even though the sap in many pines is more combustible than the water lovers by far. The needles will be brown everywhere, but they're not burned up. White ash. Where's the black? Where's the carbon? So you're thinking intense heat. Well, why are all the trees still there? A palm tree is easy to light on fire. They burn up in a second. They're like grass. They're thin. They'll burn in seconds. Yet I look at them, they're kind of super wilted. They turn black. There's a black color to all these dead trees. If it doesn't ignite, these leaves just kind of wilt and turn dark colors. Another anomaly. They should all have been gone. With this kind of heat, everything should have been gone. Should have been stumps of trees. That didn't happen.
And it should be black, not white.
That's right. Every house I've seen burn up, all of them have been burned to the ground, white ash. I have not seen much of any black anywhere. Everything else.
That's a straight up and down ray gun. Kind of like what Chuck D said. Impeach the president, pulling out my ray gun, zap the next one.
It's completely gone.
Yeah, the toilet, the fridge, the stove, which I've seen, houses and the stove is there. It doesn't go to ash.
That's right. This is the giant banyan tree I've heard about. Here you have a fire all the way around it. Even the boats were on fire. After the fire, I see leaves everywhere and all the aerial roots coming down. They look kind of sagging and black, not necessarily burned up. And here's a wood pole to your left, whether it's a splint or I think there's lights on it. It was so hot it forgot to burn the wood. Dry wood. Dead trees I've noticed that are dead before the fires, they're not burning. There's no moisture in them. Yes, the whole hood, it got so hot, the metal hood melted out. That's pushing 2,750 degrees. 2 fire captains I know of, they say they've never seen vehicles in their whole career like this. Windows are never melted. They might break. They don't even sag. They break or shatter or fall out, but they don't melt. That's 2,500 degrees and up. They start to melt at 25. So what could do that? You don't have enough fuel in this Jeep. And I don't mean gasoline. I mean the fuels, the plastics, the seats, the cushions. All that isn't enough to get this kind of burn. I see dead trees, but a firestorm would have left sticks. There'd be no leaves on it. That's your fire. The leaves, like in California. All that they're clearing out. Now it has to go to the local dump somewhere. Follow them to the dumps. See what they're dumping. They're eliminating evidence. Here's your trees in the background. No, it's the same old thing.
We can prove that this is not natural. Then maybe the insurance companies will turn it over and they'll have to pay and we can change this.
You can't prove that it's not natural because the insurance companies don't want to pay. So you gotta charge it to the game. This is you guys' 9/11, so we just gotta call it that. Lahaina 11. Well, that's what I'm gonna call it. Maybe I'll make some shirts like that for y'all.
Where'd the fire come from to burn the house? It had to come through the forest. Everybody knows about this. These are the umbrellas. This is synthetics. I mean, if you got flying embers, where's the holes? And if they are flying, they're not the normal fires we know of that will burn synthetics. There's something else. So there's your palms. There's your synthetics. The building's gone. It's just metals. And these things didn't burn up. Nothing, I mean nothing added up. When I see forest fires, the trees are burned up. The needles are gone. The twigs are gone. Many of the branches are gone. Sometimes the trunk is burned down halfway or all the way to a low stump and even holes in the ground. That's the way they burn. No exception. They don't leave their needles on there. With their needles on there, how do we even call it a forest fire? The forest didn't burn. I saw this picture on the internet from a drone possibly, and I see these buildings, a Jack in the Box, McDonald's, and a gas station. And they're just completely burned, leaving only metals and stone. But what I see is the trees. When you don't see the forest burn, but yet houses are, and some of these materials don't burn, what is going on here? And many of the fire captains and other workers have said, we've never seen fires like this, or the fires were so hot we couldn't even get close to them to put them out. And they were also very hard to put out. I believe most of these fires are microwave based. They're not normal wood fires that we know of. Many materials will not burn. The same stuff exactly that I've seen in California. No different, all the same fire footprints. Things that don't make sense. Here, a home's on fire and nothing else.
What the heck does ferrous even mean?
The abbreviation for pound, lb, comes from the word libra, which means scales in Latin. In ancient Rome, libra pondo meant a pound by weight. The word pound originates from pondo, and the shorthand for libra, which was used as a synonym for pound, was reduced to lb. A libra was comprised of 12 parts called an uncia, and is considered the ancestor to the ounce, an inch. Naturally, the pound, or libra, was closely tied with commerce in various trades. Weighing anything from grain to gold requires an accurate scale. Gold and silver coins were minted at specific weights, and paper currency was backed by precious metals. Given this close relationship, it makes sense that a pound would evolve to denote specific currencies in various parts of the world.
And in my neighborhood, a pound is a handshake.
The symbol for the pound is a stylized L, which stands for Libra. The LB abbreviation was oftentimes written with a line through it to make it more recognizable. People wrote variations over the years that included a second dash, which became common. Later on, the bulb of the B was dropped, leaving us with a crosshatch. This is the modern genesis of the pound sign. This symbol appears to have come to fruition in various ways over the ages, most likely due to its simplicity. Bell Laboratories added the sign to the telephone keypad in the 60s and named it the octothorpe. Octo, as in octagon or October, is a reference to the 8 lines coming out from the edges.
Now that would be a pretty good snap. You got an octothorpe head. You have to use it in the right connection. But this is what black people do. I mean, I'll talk about black people like they're a species and I'm not a part of them. I mean, that's some shit that a nigga would have said in lunch. You optothorpe head ass nigga, or he'd have said it wrong. He'd have said, you optocorp head ass nigga.
I do think it's interesting that the introduction of the pound key was a means to give the telephone a way to communicate with computer systems.
Okay.
This mark appears to stay aligned with advanced technology, which makes sense given the math involved and its role as the number sign. Today, the symbol has been given new life as the hashtag, thanks in large part to Twitter. Libra has a few interesting connections with bird symbolism as well. The Egyptian goddess Ma'at comes to mind, who is sometimes called the mistress of the underworld. She's depicted with a stylized ostrich feather on her head, and was considered the goddess of truth, justice, and balance. The balance component is most visible in the ancient Egyptian Judgment of the Dead ritual, where Ma'at's feather plays an important role. This act is also referred to as psychostasis, or the weighing of souls. In this ceremony, a heart is weighed against Ma'at's feather of truth to judge if a soul is light enough to ascend in the afterlife.
The Baptist Church, Yuri, what year did that Baptist religion garbage start?
1608.
We was in slavery in 1608. Yuri, when did the Mormon religion start?
1830.
We was in slavery in 1830. Yuri, when did that damn Jehovah, what is that, Seventh-day Disadvantage start?
1863.
We was just being emancipated, okay, when they still was whipping our backs. Couldn't read, couldn't write. And when did the damn Jehovah Witness start?
1872.
We was under Jim Crow and black codes. And that next one, the Pentecost, when that start?
1901.
We was under Jim Crow laws. So what the hell you Christians talking about? None of these religions pertain to our people. They hated us, despised us then, as they despise us now.
I didn't know these were so new. Oh, that's why people say religion was man-made. Okay.
Yo, son, do it how you was doing a little while ago. Let's spin it around so you can see how you Put the extra down in there too. You know how you was doing that? Come the text, similar to a menace. But old dog sniffing cane couldn't fuck with the damage that I do to a massive. Keep fucking around, won't be nobody strong enough to leave them in shock. Niggas get sentenced to life and stress in a box. Most of my friends got murdered and damn, I feel lost. Wish I was there when it popped off the nobody but me. I got a whole game of killers, but that's how you gotta take. This is gonna make it alive with all the one piece. Take much more than them things to to each other when it come to that beef we get. Don't worry about a thing, my nigga. You know I got people not gonna understand what I'm talking about here. It's gonna make them curious. What is the doctors? Scientists.
I don't want to look at him in this way, but that background is giving off get out vibes. You niggas in a log cabin? Camping? That's not shit that just regular niggas from the inner city do. This niggas from Queens, he's not going fucking camping. It looks comfy and comfortable. The bullshit is they always putting some secret dumb shit in there for you. Then he got, it looks like a skull and bones, and he was in the rap game for a long time. So when did they start this whole weird...
a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, Illuminati stuff. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, it's real.
Whoa! What the... What the f... There's some things that's cool about America. These things ain't here. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for stopping through. If you stayed till now, you gets it poppin'. Tune in next time. We'll see you again.
We are them.